Welcome back to my channel, Haluhalo Music. Today I just want to go over just some things that I'm working on, and yeah, I want to show you how I make beats, and I want to take you along this journey with me on how I make this. I want to take you through. My creative thought, my processing, the mixing and mastering. I want to show you all of this. But in this specific video, it's just gonna be on how to create a beat. Okay, and there's many ways. There's about 4 ways to create a beat, and I'll get into that. But I want to show you how I got to this screen. If you don't remember on the last video, you go to File, hit New, and let's don't close. And this is gonna pop up. These videos are very basic, just to get you started on your music career. Hopefully this helps you guys. And you know, if there's any time that you are confused or I don't make sense, man, please feel free to comment or give me a text at 209-845-7761, and I'll be happy to text you back and explain to you what I was talking about. Or you can email me at music@rootedkingdom.com. But on the first video we talked about the drummer and creating that region. All this is going to do, if you haven't watched that video, you don't remember, is it's going to create a track right here with an 8-bar drum region. Now, this is just Logic Pro 10's preset drums, but if you want to be more creative and you want to be able to have more control over your drum design, then you want to go to software instrument, and what this will do, this will create a track for you, and you can actually create every sound and every note that's within your drum. So check this out. So you're gonna hit software instrument, click create, and this will pop up. Sometimes this little box right here is not gonna pop up, but I'll get into that in a little bit. But before you start, I want you to go to File and Save As, and go ahead and name it, and then put it somewhere that you're gonna remember. I like to put mine in the desktop. So let's go ahead, and I'm not gonna save mine just because I already have one for you guys. But go ahead and save it. And how did I get to those drums? Well, if you don't see the library right here, the easiest way to get there would go to View, Show Library. You can even look, it says you can even hit Y. See, if you hit Y, it'll open up your library. But if you don't remember, just go to View and Show Library. There you go. Your library is right here of all the instruments. So for this purpose that I'm making a beat, I start off with the drum track. You can more than welcome to start off with the melody. So if you want to use a synthesizer, or you want to start off with guitar, you know, in a piano orchestra piece, you know, go for it. For this purpose, we're going to start off with electronic drum kit, and I'm going to go all the way down to the Roland 808, just because I like the way it sounds. And the beat that I'm making, I want to use this 808 beat. But that's how we get there. I'm going to go ahead and close mine out. Now you can leave yours open. And we got here. This is where we're at. So I created this beat for you guys. And I did it by hand. So I want to show you, there's multiple ways. There's about 4 different ways you can make a beat. Okay, so if you have a MIDI controller, then you want to turn on your MIDI controller. Okay, and then a notification should pop up right here. There you go. And then you can go ahead and start pressing the keys on your MIDI controller to make the beat sound. So if you hit your C1, you're gonna get the that sound right here. So now I'll show you. You hear it? That's the C1. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and turn off my MIDI controller now. Okay, and you're gonna see a notification that it's off. But let's just say you don't have a MIDI controller. You actually don't need a MIDI controller to create music. You know, when you're just first starting out, you know, everything is so expensive. Even this Logic Pro 10, it's about $200, I believe it is, but it's well worth it. If you think you need a MIDI controller, you need a mixer, an analog mixer, compressor to make everything work. Well, Logic Pro 10 gives you all that in this thing here, and you only need this to create music, and I'm going to show you. Okay, so let's go ahead and create a new track for you guys, just so you can see it. I'm going to silence this one out. Okay, so if you mute this, this won't play, or you can go this way and solo this track or this region out. But let's go ahead and electronic drum kit, find the 808, boom, there. Okay, this is your piano roll. So the first way we're gonna create a beat is we're gonna do it using this method by clicking on these little boxes right here. So how do I get to this window here? How did I get to this window? I click the scissor. If you click the scissor, which is also called the editor, it'll open up just like that. And if I don't mention it, if you look right here on this quick help, I'm keeping this quick help up for you guys so you can kind of read along as I go. How do I get to that quick help? You can do it for yourself too. Just click the little question mark button there and it'll show up. But to get to this window again, we're gonna click the scissors or the editor. It's gonna bring this up. Now if you look on this piano roll, you're gonna have the instrument sounds. You go ahead and click it. You got the kick drum. The little black key here is a rim shot. This is the snare. Clap. Snare number 2, and your toms, all the way up to here. If you don't see anything on the key, that means it's not mapped to any type of sound, so you know you can't use it. So and that goes for this area too. On the C0, there's no sound there. Yeah. So the first way, if you go to this box, you click on the box, and then you right click, create note. It's going to create that note for you. Turn that off. Let's do it again. Click in the box, right click, and create note. Now if I go to the second box, it's going to create the note right there. See? But to stay in time, we need to stay on beat. So, boom. And then let's do another drum. Just to kind of map it out. I know oftentimes we really don't know how things are, unless you do this all the time. It gets difficult to read these lines and which one of these lines is the off beat, which is the and beat, or the actual beat. So go ahead and play with it. Let's go ahead and open this up a little bit more. Let's go ahead and put more drums here. Kind of map it out a little bit. I'm a visual type of guy, so I need to see it. Okay, so let's listen to see how that sounds. That clicking sound you're hearing is the metronome, which is also called the click track. But let's listen to it without the metronome. Okay, cool. That sounds good. Okay, that's on beat. So now you want your snare like the you want that, right? So find the snare that you like, or you know, not even a snare. Maybe if you want to do a hi-hat, whatever, but you can do what you like. Let's do the snare, and we're gonna put the snare right here. Okay, and let's put the other snare on bar 2. We'll put the snare right here. Let's see what happens, okay? Now let's go ahead and put in hi-hats. Let's find a hi-hat that you want, and let's just go ahead and create hi-hats right here. Let's just do it every other one. So I'm just clicking the box, right-clicking, create note. That's all I'm doing. Okay. And then on this one, let's get creative with it. Let's go ahead and create a small one like this here, and create another one. If you click on this box and you hit create, the same size one is gonna pop up. Let's go ahead and add one right here too. There you go. And let's do the same thing. So I'm gonna copy and paste this. See if that works. Copy. And if you're gonna paste, just like every other thing, you gotta put the cursor there. Right click, boom. Oh, it didn't work. Okay, well. Okay. Let's just do that. And let's go ahead and extend this one. See how this sounds. Okay, now I have this looper on. Okay. This looper or the cycle area, just so it can repeat, just so I can hear the drums. Okay, cool. You know, it sounds okay to me, but let's go ahead and move this kick drum. Let's see what happens when we put it here. I feel like there should be like another kick drum right here. So let's go ahead and make this shorter. Copy. Click it. Right click. Boom. Create note. Let's see what happens now. Cool. So that's that. This is the one that I did. So that's creating that beat using your piano roll. Piano roll beat. Okay, that's what I'm gonna name it for you guys. Okay, and let's do another one. Okay, software instrument. So you can either create a new one, or you can just hit this little window here. If you go to this window and you click it, it's gonna give you the exact same one. It's just basically a copy and paste. So now this one, I want to show you how to create it with the little musical box, right? Hit Command K. Hit Command K, this is gonna pop up. Try it again, Command K. And you can have your cursor anywhere. Your cursor can be up here and it'll pop up. If you forget Command K, you can always go to View. Go to View. Oh, I'm sorry, go to Window and do Show Musical Typing. Boom. Now, this one's it should be self-explanatory, but if you don't know it, let me just go through this stuff for you real quick. The first one, I want you to ignore this A, S, D, F, G. I want you to ignore those letters there, okay? But I want you to listen when I press these keys. Oh, I got it. I got it muted. There. And notice here that these are highlighting, because those are the notes that I'm hitting. I'm hitting the C note. You know, hitting the C note. This is your D. Okay. That's E. That's your F. That's your F sharp. Okay. And I want you to notice that we're on the C1 octave. C1 octave. If you press these little arrows here, these arrows, it's going to go to the C2 octave, which now brings you up here. You see that? So let's move it again. Let's go to C3. C3 is right here. There is no mapping here, so you can't use these ones. So it looks like you just have to stay within C1 and C2. And that's what this is here. So what are these letters right here? If you look at your keyboard, you look at your keyboard, you could actually create the beat by pushing A, which is also the C note. Try pushing S, pushing D. Okay. Here, let's make a beat really quick with just using the keyboard. Okay, you can do that by pressing these keys. Okay, so to use this method, using the keyboard and using this musical typing box, you have to hit record. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. Make sure you have your 1 2 3 4 on, and have your clicker on your metronome. It's just good habit. So when this 1 2 3 4, it's gonna count you in, and then you'll know when to get started. Because if you don't have this and you hit record, it's gonna automatically start recording, and then you gotta rush to kind of get to where you need to get. Especially if you're first starting out in music, it's really difficult. But keep that 1 2 3 4 on, and and just be ready. So let's go ahead and do it. I'm gonna be using the keyboard. Okay, I'm not gonna use this right now. But I'll leave this up because every time I push on my keyboard, it's going to show you what I'm hitting. So let's go ahead and record it. Cool. So that's that. Okay, and we'll call this MIDI keyboard. Boom. So I know that was a bit difficult. If you tried that already, it's a bit difficult, and it's super loud. It's at 127 velocity, as high as it can go. Don't worry about it. You can edit this later. Just highlight the portions, and you can move it. So don't worry about that. So let's go ahead and solo this out and listen to it. Okay. What is that on? 78. Let's make this 78 too. Or you can just there. 78. Okay. So this is all 78 right here. Cool. And that is used from the keyboard. Now let's go ahead and let's just say you want to change all this. Like, notice how it's kind of off, right? It's off right here. I should have started right here, but I missed the beat. No problem. Just highlight the whole thing. Highlight the whole thing and leave it highlighted. Get the last note and just move it. Boom. There you go. Now let's listen to it. Let's put on this repeater here. Now, if you listen to it, you can hear that I was off timing a little bit. Not a big deal. So we just find, we just find where it's best gonna be at. We can just get rid of that. Get rid of that. And we'll put this here. Okay, and let's put a snare right here. Okay, there it is. Put the snare right there. Let's see what happens. Okay, now let's just say you don't like bar 1, but you like where this is at because this is where you found your sweet spot in your timing, sort of, right? Go ahead and highlight the whole thing, delete it, and then just do the same thing. And sometimes, this is basically just mapping out your beat. It doesn't have to be on beat right now. You're just mapping it out, and then go ahead and move it. Okay, grab the end here and just make it longer so it fits this entire box, and you can kind of just close that, close that off to make it fit the box. But notice how this one's off, right? So let's go ahead and move it over and close this out. Or you can just delete it, highlight it, delete it, you know, right click like I showed you, and then create the note. You know, and you would do this for every single one of them, right? If you had a MIDI controller, this would be much easier, but this is just another way to do something. All right. So this one's like smaller, so we're gonna move this on time. I'm gonna click this box because I'm gonna delete it, and notice when I right click on the spot where I want it and I put it on, it's gonna be the same size. Okay, so I like the way this size is. I'm gonna click that. Okay, well, delete this, click that, and I'm gonna put a snare right here. Do the same thing for the drums. You know, let's make these drums bigger. Okay. And we'll do the same thing here. And I'm getting to a point, I promise. Okay. Okay. Now we went ahead and edited all the way through 1 and 2, bars 1 and 2, and you don't like this, and it's typically all the same. So go ahead and hit Command T, and it's gonna break this up. See how it broke up right here? Go ahead and delete this one. You don't need it. And then you can just go ahead and loop this entire one. Highlight this, Command C, and then Command V, V as in Victor. Boom. And then you can highlight the whole thing, Command J to join it. And then now let's listen to it. Everything should theoretically be on time. You see, because we already processed bars 1 and 2, and we just copy and pasted bars 3 and 4. So now let's listen to it. Sounds good, man. Sounds really good. And we used a MIDI keyboard for that one. And this would be the same thing. This would be the same thing as using the Command K. You know, obviously it'd be a little bit harder to use this because of the timing. But I mean, if you're doing a beats per minute that's really slow, like reggae, like 60 beats per minute, you could probably get away with using this. But again, using this function, you would have to record it, and I'll show you that anyway. But anyway, this is how I create a beat. If I like the way it sounds, then I'll roll with this. I'm obviously going to keep this one, but I just wanted to show you. But if I like this, I never delete my work. Like, I'll keep this just in case I want to use it. Maybe I could use it for a hook or something. I'm going to save this. I mean, this took me probably a few minutes, but this is money right here. You created this. Somebody might buy this region right here. You never know. Somebody might want a drum pack. So, dude, keep this here. Okay. So now let's go ahead and create another track. Just so I can show you how to use this. Okay. I'm gonna hit this one here, which is the duplicate track. If you look to where it says quick help right here, it'll say duplicate track, which is basically a copy and paste. Whatever is highlighted is what it's gonna be. And we're gonna call this musical typing. Musical typing. There you go. And this is the same thing. Okay, let's keep this here just so we can see our beats. Okay, and again, the same thing. Oop, it's soloed. There you go. Okay. Now let's just do the drum, the kick, because it's gonna be too hard, too fast to click the mouse back and forth. Yeah. So let's just go ahead and just do the drum. We'll just process every single one as we go. Keep the metronome on. The 1, 2, 3, 4 counting and record. So we got that there. Here it is. Now, if you look again, it's highlighted red. The velocity is super high at 127. Don't worry about it. You can edit it later, but I'm just gonna do it right now. We're going to bring it to like 68, which is normal. And why would you want to use the velocity? I'm gonna show you right now. But anyway, if now you want to create, you got the drum. You got the drum going on here. Let's go and listen to it. So we missed section 4, which is okay. So what we'll do is we'll just we'll align all of these really quick. I'm just right clicking. It's just a lot faster. And then it Logic will automatically align the beat for you. Okay. Same thing for this one. This one is off just by like a millisecond. Okay, let's listen to it. Always listen to your track. Now, listening to your track is like cooking food for your family. You always want to taste it and sample it. So always listen to what you got going on. So now you did the drums. Now let's work on the snare. Okay, Command K to bring this up. And the snare is right here. How do I know? Because if I hear it, I know that's a snare. And then I also look at it. That's the snare that I like. Okay, so let's use that one. Now we're going to do the same thing. We're going to hit record. Okay, here we go. Okay, that's what we did. Command K. Let's listen. Okay, so it sounds a little bit off, sounds a little bit weird, no problem. We'll go ahead and fix that. Let's change the velocity. Let's change it to 60. Let's change this 70. You really want the snares to really, especially like in hip hop music, you really want the snares to be there. Oh, Command Z to, if you mess up like that, Command Z will bring it right back to where you started. Highlight the box you want to fix. Okay, and let's just make this bigger. Okay. As you can see, it's a little bit of work, but it'll get the job done. So don't get discouraged. It's just a little bit longer, but that's okay. And then let's put one here. I feel like we should have had one right here. And let's put one right here too. And let's accent it and put one here. Let's see what happens. Now let's sample it. Okay, so if you don't like that, just go ahead and move it around. You know, find something that you like. Maybe you feel like there should be a hi-hat here, or not hi-hat, a snare here, and maybe a kick drum here as well too. Yeah, go ahead and create it. There. Okay, now let's sample that. So now that sounds like that could be like a hook or something, or like I don't know, like, I guess it does sound like a hook. I don't know, like the change of a drums. Okay, so we did that. Let's go ahead, since we fixed that already and we didn't get to this one, no problem. No problem at all. Go to this one. Okay. Command T. And just say split. Boom, there it is. Command C to copy it. And you can do the same thing here. Command T, delete this out. Then Command V for Victor. And then boom, now Command J. It almost sounds like a college drum set. Okay, but anyway, that's how you make that. Now, why would we want to change the velocity? So the velocity, let's use the hi-hat. Well, not that one. Let's use this one. And we'll do it in 4s. And let's make this one, actually, let's go right here. Let's make this one louder. Okay. And then, see if I can get this to copy and paste. Yep, there it is. See how that sounds. Command, paste. Just pasting all this stuff, just see how it sounds. So this, the highlighted, the velocity one is going to change, you know, the loudness of it. And a real drummer actually does that. Like if you listen to the hi-hats on a song and go right, and it just gets louder, so it makes it sound more like a real drum. So check it out. Cool, right? Very simple. Okay, so you know, we went over on how to use a MIDI controller, your internal MIDI controller. These, you know, the piano roll beat, which is, to remind you, which is this one. We created by using that technique. And we also went over this MIDI controller and you know, and this one, this Command K. So I hope that helped you guys, and then I'm going to continue working on this track here, on this track for you guys. I don't know if you want to hear what I came up so far. Check it out. Just a basic old school type of beat, and I'm going to change this as I go, just as I showed you guys. I'm going to be using my MIDI controller for this one just because it's faster. And then as soon as I'm done with that, I'll probably be making like a melody to go along with it, or perhaps a bass line. And then I'll record that as well and show you guys on how I do that. Okay, guys, until next time.